Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon and this is Shannon's Book Nook, and today is going to be a doozy. We're going to talk about the worst books that I read in 2024. So, disclaimer, if you liked any of these books or loved any of these books, I'm happy for you. But personally, these books did not work for me. Also, before we get into the actual video, I am not at my house and I am currently pet sitting three dogs. Two of them are Boston Terriers, and one's a Golden Retriever, and one is currently trying to knock over my computer. So, this is going to be an interesting video to try and record with these three dogs in my space. So, let's just get into the chaos. Why don't we? Okay, so to start, I have 19 books that I rated 2 stars, which means I did not like it. In this video, I am not going to be talking about the books that I did not finish. Sir, I will be talking about books that I did finish and I did not like. I will be talking about books that I did not finish in another book. So, in another video. Oh my goodness. Yes, hi. Hi. Oh, thank you. Just wanted to make an appearance in my video, huh? So, like I was saying, I'm only going to be talking about 10 of my most disappointing reads this year. And let's start off with one that I anticipated on absolutely loving: In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. This is a Pinocchio retelling, and I gave it 2 stars, and I ended up being so disappointed by this book. Now, hang on just a minute. Now that I'm thinking about it, I thought I DNF'd this book. Let me look at something real quick. Hang on. Okay, I just looked on Goodreads to read my full review. I did not DNF. I wanted to DNF a lot throughout this book. I had the physical copy of this book, but I also listened to the audiobook. And to be quite honest, the audiobook, in my personal opinion, is terrible. The narrator's voice, the choice that they made to sound like droids was quite frankly annoying. It was very, very annoying. Um, this is, like I said, a sci-fi Pinocchio retelling with a Wizard of Oz vibe, but you have droids. So, one of my biggest problems with this books was the constant sexual innuendos that were made. I mean, it was funny at first, but after a while, it got old quick. And it became quite problematic, in my opinion. So this was just not it for me personally. I absolutely did not like this book. Another book that I had anticipated on loving, because this author is an auto-buy author for me, At First Bite by Olivia Dade. It hurt to give this book 2 stars. I love that she includes plus size characters in her books, and she doesn't stray away from talking about mental health issues. But I think I read this at the beginning of the year, and I was really struggling with my mental health. I've been struggling with my mental health a lot throughout the year, but especially at the beginning of the year. So this book really kind of triggered my depression. And I'm not normally triggered by books, so I wasn't expecting it to hit as hard as it did. But At First Bite follows Athena, Johnny, and Matthew. And in the beginning, Athena and Johnny are engaged when she decides to call off the wedding shortly before the big day, all because of his big brother Matthew. And Matthew tells him to. Well, Athena then moves to Harlot Bay, into the house she bought as a wedding gift for Johnny, but who ends up being her neighbor, Matthew Vine. Matthew, the brother. Sorry about that. I am still sick. Look, I wanted to love this one, but in the end, I was frustrated by the choices that were being made by all the characters. I didn't love either brother. I don't think either one of them ended up being deserving of being with Athena. I almost DNF this one. I do remember that I got an arc of this book and I didn't want to DNF the arc. So I finished it, but I gave it 2 stars. Number three that I gave 2 stars to and did not enjoy was Dad Can't Know by Ava Marks. Now, this was a book that was recommended to me by like my all my 12 books by recommended by 12 friends over on Instagram. And so was In the Lives of Puppets, which tells me number one, that I'm not going to be doing that challenge in 2025. And also, my friends over on Instagram may not know me as well as they think they do. But in Dad Can't Know is a age gap romance, which I typically love, but this one did not hit the mark. So I'm just going to kind of read my review that I wrote because, yeah. Um, so it says, look, I love a good age gap romance with a bit of a forbidden element to it, but this wasn't it. Callum is Robin's dad's best friend since they were kids, also known as Uncle Callum. They supposedly have this amazing connection with lots of inside jokes, but did I miss something? I did not get any of that. There was some ASMR kinky stuff happening that just didn't work for me. Then I got the major ick when Callum wanted little Robbie to call him Uncle Callum while they were banging. Nope. The ending and epilogue had me rolling my eyes because I got whiplash from how quickly conflict wrapped up, and the surprise pregnancy in the epilogue was the final straw. Sorry if you love this one, but this one was not for me. Next book is Too Late by Colleen Hoover. I was really hesitant about going into this book, anyways. I've kind of decided not to read any more Colleen Hoover uh, for personal reasons. Like, I love her books for the most part, but they can be kind of problematic. They can be problematic. But Too Late follows um, Luke, who is undercover at a university. There's a drug ring going on, and he meets Sloane, who is the drug lord's girlfriend. Um, Sloane and Luke are not the brightest, and Asa, while being a complete total trash of a human, they constantly underestimated Asa and his willingness to go further than they think he will. I It was very slow going for me until about the 55% mark. And I feel like Colleen Hoover was trying too hard with this book. She wanted it to be dark and edgy, and it almost was trying it was trying too hard to be those things. Some things that I absolutely hated and almost caused me to DNF this book altogether, but it was at the very, very end of the book. Um, One, there's an unexpected pregnancy, and these are probably going to be spoilers. So if you haven't read this book or plan to read this book, I would skip this part. There's an unexpected pregnancy. There is a grape of a pregnant woman at the end of the story. And the last thing, Asa goes into kind of a mental spiral at the end. and he uses a crucifix to destroy things. He uses it as a weapon, and that did not sit okay with me at all. So this book just I should have I should have not read it at all. Don't come at me for this one. But I gave Flawless by Elsie Silver, which is the first book in the Chestnut series. I gave that 2 stars. I did not have a great time with this book. Rhett is a bull rider. I mean, it's his whole freaking personality. And he said something stupid, and he is at risk of losing millions of dollars in sponsorships. And so Summer sends in, or no, his PR team sends in Summer, who went to law school, by the way, to basically be his babysitter. And of course, sparks fly, and chemistry is off the charts with banter. However, with that said, I was bored through most of this book. It took me way too long to finish this book, and I struggled with wanting to even pick it up. Now, with that said, I have since read the second book in the series, which is Heartless, which follows Willa and Cole. Cole or Colt? I can't remember. But I loved that one. So I'm not completely writing off all Elsie Silver books at this point. It was just this one did not work for me. I don't know why. What about it? Maybe it was just wrong book, wrong time. But with that said, this one got 2 stars from me. Okay, this next one. I have decided to DNF this entire series because I struggled with the first 2 books. And it's a pretty popular dark romance series. And I say dark in quotes because, I mean, it's dark, but it's not the darkest series I've ever read. But Scarred by Emily McIntyre, I gave 2 stars. And I don't know, I cannot put my finger on why these books don't work for me. I struggled with Hook too. I don't know what it is. It's maybe the writing style, I don't know. Um and Emily as a person is wonderful. Like, I've seen some of her posts, and I know she's dealing with, or she was or is dealing with cancer. So that freaking sucks. As a person, I'm sure she's wonderful. I just personally struggle with her books. So I will not be reading anymore, even though this series is very popular. If you love it, that's great, but I cannot quite put my finger on why these books just don't work for me. So I'm not going to put myself through that anymore. And I'm DNFing the series. All right, so the next one is a Atria book that I was given by the publishers, which sucks because you want to love books that are sent to you by the publishers, especially when you're a partner of theirs. But this one just, I was wanting to love it because it's a historical fiction with mystery, but it just was not working for me. The Eyes of the Queen by Oliver Clements. Um, I was left feeling very disappointed about this book. I'm going to just kind of read what I wrote in my review. It says, while the historical setting and premise initially piqued my interest, the execution fell short. The pacing was uneven, with certain sections dragging on and others feeling rushed. The characters, particularly John Dee, lacked depth and failed to fully engage me in the plights and triumphs. Additionally, the intricate plot, though ambitious, often became convoluted and difficult to follow. Overall, while the book had potential and moments of intrigue, it ultimately didn't live up to my expectations, earning it a lukewarm 2 stars. So I do have the rest of this book or rest of this series that they have sent me, and I am torn. I don't know if I'm actually going to read them because I didn't like the first book in the series, and it just continues in the next 3 or 4 books. I don't know. Up next, we have another arc that was given to me by NetGalley. Um, and this is a popular author, and now I'm scared to read the physical copy of books that I have. I think I have one of hers, and I'm terrified to read it. The Dead Guy Next Door, which is a Riley Thorne series book. So it's Riley Thorne and the Dead Guy Next Door. This is written by Lucy Score. And this book had no right being as long as it was. It is, oh, I wish I knew how many pages it was. Let me see if I can find it real quick. 519. 519 pages. This is a, no, paranormal ish romance. It has no right being 519 pages. Um, I liked the unique premise of this book, but the execution fell short and it was just too daggum long and it dragged on and on. And then this is like book one in a series, so we don't even fully get everything in this book. Does that make sense? Like, this book has potential, but because it's part of a series, the relationship that is, it's basically just the beginning pieces of the relationship because it's book one, which I get when we're following the same characters. Look, I read a lot of fantasy, I know how it works. But this book dragged on and on, and it just felt incomplete. Oof. Okay, I feel strongly about this next book because it made me DNF another series that I started out actually loving. I gave the first book 5 stars. Then the next book, I think I gave 3 stars. And let me double check. Go away. What is this? Pause. Okay, so the first book got 5 stars. The second book got 4 stars. The next book got 2 stars. And then the book that I'm about to talk about got 2 stars as well. So it went from great to good to terrible, which does not usually happen. So this book is called Mercy by Sarah Kate. It is book 4 in the Salacious Players Club. And look, I've never, this book, the couple that it's featuring, I was never a fan of Bo, who is the main male character. And he doesn't do much in this book to change my opinion or my feelings about him in this book. And Maggie, the main female character, is supposedly a Dommy, which she doesn't fully seem to be a Dommy. She seems to be more ashamed of the lifestyle than anything else. I wasn't a fan of these characters separately and even more so together. Like, I didn't really like Maggie or Bo separately, and then you put them together and I didn't like them even more. So it just didn't seem like sorry, I'm reading what I wrote. It didn't seem like a realistic fight for either of them. They lacked chemistry and I struggled through this whole book and I ended up DNFing the series. Also, something that I will note, Bo is on the cover of this book, but I don't understand why he is the cover model for this book when Maggie is the one of the owners in the Salacious Players Club. Why didn't she get to be on the cover of her own book? Seems like a missed opportunity to me. I was just pissed off about everything about this book. Okay, the last book I'm going to talk about for this video is No Place to Hide by Harper Ashley and Ren Hawthorne. So I actually picked up this novella because it is a circus themed book. And earlier in the year, I participated in a Black Cat Circus readathon, Escape the Readathon by Lexi. And since it was a circus themed readathon, I thought it would be fun to pick up a dark romance that takes place at a circus. Yeah, no, it wasn't fun. So my review was really, really short. I just said, so that happened. Didn't love it. Also didn't hate it. Just one long winded smut scene. Which, if that's what you're looking for, jump into this one. So, I mean, it is, I would say, a dark romance because there are some questionable things happening in this book. Um, and it is very short. So, if you're looking for a very short dark romance that has a circus theme to it, check this one out. But I didn't love it. It wasn't working for me. And thank goodness it was short because I probably wouldn't have finished it if it was any longer. So that was it. Those are the worst books. Some of the worst books that I've read. Remember, I have 19 on my list of 2-star books, but be sure to check out my upcoming videos. I have one talking about the best books. So, Battle of the Books will be coming up soon. That will probably be my next video. I'm also going to be talking about all the books that I DNF'd. I'll just kind of run through them really quickly. I might explain why I DNF'd if I can remember why. But yeah, thank you for sticking around. If you stuck around for this long, don't forget to like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to. And I will see you next time. Bye.